What's up, everybody, and welcome to Extra Step. You already know how it is. You're with your host Derwin and
Kay.
How you doing? How are you guys doing? It's been a long decade. I mean, 10 years is a long time. Anyway, so we'll see. Today we're planning on visiting a lot of memories down
Going down memory lane and talking about the decade from 2010 all the way to 2019.
Absolutely.
Talking about all the ups and the downs. Obviously, the up was happened in 2019. But it's been a great decade, so we're gonna be talking a lot today.
Let's get started.
So we're doing the tip off as usual. Throw the ball up. Who's getting the first possession? First things first. Who owned the decade here? This last.
So we're talking about a team, right?
Right. So like a team or
a certain individual. Obviously, we're not gonna talk too much shit about Golden State 5 straight finals.
Yeah.
They were absolutely the other half of this decade's team. Everybody wanted a piece of them. That's it, right? It wasn't like anything simple. Every time teams wanted to face them, Golden State always stepped up and said, nope, we're going to another finals. We're going to another finals. Then they blew a 3-1 lead. We'll talk about that later. And then they went out and got the second best player in the game to go to 3 more finals. So,
you know what? I gotta give the Warriors a little credit, but I mean, let's be real. It's LeBron.
Yeah. It's
like he's the greatest player to walk on Earth from 2010 to 2019, probably and beyond. That's just my opinion. All right, but no, the man's dominated. The man's been in almost every finals.
Yeah, except for the one.
Except one. Either he hasn't been in 2010 nor 2019.
No. Oh yeah.
Think about that. That's how great
the guy went to
was.
8 finals, right? So
With 2 different teams. How many guys can you say have done
nobody.
that?
I don't think anybody.
Like, I'll give the Warriors the credit. They definitely owned it with their their span of going to the finals 4 times.
5 times.
It was 5 times.
5 times.
Oh yeah, it was 5 times. I forgot they got their ass whooped by
20. Yeah, 2015. Right?
Bada boom. But honestly, no.
I mean, hey, as much as shit I've talked about LeBron in my life before, this is the one time I'm gonna stay forward and say, hey, this guy, he absolutely blew away the competition every time he was on the court. There was no player in the league that was even close to him. Kevin Durant would be the only one I would give any sort of respect to, but even then, like, the man had to go to a 73 win team to get his first ring. So I'm not gonna say he was that good. LeBron James, 8 straight finals. That's it.
No, facts.
In a decade, to think about it, 8 years in a row out of those 10, the man was in the
Bill Russell's
finals.
like the only other man to do it,
right? Even I look at the way Bill's talked about in the game now. So I imagine 50 years from now, the way we're gonna talk about LeBron.
Yeah, but okay, listen. But when you said this whole respect for KD, stop that shit.
He was the second best player in the game.
I don't care. I don't care. He's a bitch.
He's a bitch. You're right. That's what I just said.
Warriors. I give Warriors credit.
But he was a great scorer. He's a great scorer. I'm not gonna take that away from the man.
He was great when he was
He's versatile. He's not the best defender, but he's not a horrible defender for being 7 feet tall. He can shoot the ball over anybody in this league. Like, I'm not hearing.
No, those are fast.
I'm giving respect to LeBron. Why don't you put the same?
Because Kevin Durant don't deserve that respect. He walked on a championship team to the finals.
That was him, bro. He felt like
he couldn't do it himself.
He couldn't. He needed
so why would I give him that respect?
But he still had. But in that 2017 finals, the man had 35. Right?
And what finals?
The 2000. His first one.
Yeah.
Right? When he went to Golden State, he averaged how much? 35 a game.
Yes.
Who was the only other person in the last 20 years to average 35 in the finals?
I mean, it's
Shaquille O'Neal.
I mean, it's pretty easy when you have Hall of Famers on your team like that.
Okay, so you're talking the same thing about Shaquille then. Shaquille had Kobe, and that's why he averaged 35.
That's my point. Like, KD hopped on a team with an MVP on his squad, a defensive player on his squad, and probably the greatest shooter of all time, Klay Thompson, on his squad. So, I mean, like, you're going to drop 35 when the team has to focus on 4 other guys.
Okay, just remember, Steph Curry's the best shooter of all time.
No, Klay Thompson. I changed my mind. Klay Thompson. Who has the record? Who has the record?
Steph Curry.
Oh, no. Who has the record of most pieces of the game?
Actually, James Harden's going to beat that this year. Just watch.
James Harden don't count.
He's gonna beat it.
He jacks up.
The amount of threes he's hit already, he's gonna beat Steph Curry's 2016 most made threes.
Okay, yeah, that's just because like he allowed to jack up.
Well, yeah, so you can say that about Steph. Steph was allowed to do a lot when he was MVP.
I'll give the man a little respect. Yo, there was at least in the offensive system. It wasn't like okay, dribble, tween, step. Oh, pump fake, pump, bang or clang. Doesn't hit the shot. That's James
Harden's game. But
I like it.
Well, that's you can blame Mike D'Antoni for that. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna compare Mike D'Antoni.
A lot of things we can
Steve Kerr right there.
Right? No, he's out here. Oh Lord. Nah, but you know what? I will give the Warriors some credit for what they did for this decade. Yo, that's out of what? That's 9 years.
Yeah.
9-10 years. You were in the final 5.
Yep.
Times.
And you're the first team to do it since the 60s or the 50s or something like that. So, it's absolutely crazy.
So them and LeBron definitely.
Them and LeBron, absolutely.
But LeBron won the decade.
Nah,
can't argue.
Hands down.
He can't. No one can argue that. Not even Johnny can argue that, right, Johnny? Can't argue that. No. I don't want to hear it. Nice that. But another crazy thing has been going down. The Christmas Day games came down.
Hold on. He needs to stop because it's gonna be too long. He said 10 minutes. Remember?
Yeah. It's been 5.
Okay, my bad then.
Derwin, of course, as usual.
Hey, last time he stopped. Okay, last time he didn't even stop.
Okay,
it's okay. Y'all along with us. Y'all watching still. So let's talk on it. Christmas Day games. A lot of great things happened. Things that I didn't like happened. I was with my family at Tobago dinner. I don't know for you where you was at. I believe you was dinner too.
I was with my family. I watched pretty much every other game. I missed only one, unfortunately, but yeah.
Which one did you miss?
I missed the 76ers and Milwaukee game because that was dinner. That was lunch and exchange gift time. So I had to miss it.
Someone get this man, please.
Well, I told my family we had to watch the Raptors game, and then what happened there? So
how you gonna miss the Christmas Day game? You tell your family.
I missed. Okay, first of all, it's at another family member's house. Okay, I don't have power over that. No, if it was at my house, don't get it twisted. Absolutely all 5 games are running.
I'm sorry, but no. The biggest question I gotta ask out of Christmas Day, because when I got to watch the Bucks and Sixers game, I was disappointed.
Yeah,
are the Bucks still the real deal? Like I don't see them as that team now that's gonna walk through to the finals.
I never said I don't think that anyone thought that Milwaukee was just gonna walk their way to the finals, especially after what happened last year against Kawhi and the Raptors. I think though they still have a chance to get to the finals, but a trade needs to happen. Okay. Eric Bledsoe in that system is just killing them. Okay, I don't care if you can't trade him. I really don't care. Put the man on waivers. He's trash. Okay, the man cannot hit a 3 for his life in the playoffs. He goes cold every other time, and we've argued this how much. Chris Middleton should not be your second best player.
No, you can't. I mean,
can.
You have to give the man credit. The man dropped 31 points against the Sixers.
Okay, because Giannis was like invisible.
He was like what 6 for like 27. 6 or 27 is not good numbers to help you win a championship.
You're not winning no championship.
It's Christmas Day. Every time this big boy goes into a big game, whether it's Christmas Day or a playoff game, he gonna choke every time. So what that tells me is that by the time it's the second round, he gonna start looking like. Help me.
Let's rewind to a couple games ago against the Lakers when Milwaukee played. That's the most dominant I've seen Giannis be in a while, and I'll say why. The man hit 5 threes. Okay, that was the one thing that was Giannis's his weakness.
Yeah.
Was the 3-point shot. So when he's hitting, absolutely, you're totally right.
But once you put a guy on length on him, that's it.
Bro, there's not a lot of length guys in the.
But that's the thing. You have a guy length that can stop him from taking easy, wide open threes. He has to now revert to driving.
Sorry, not the year that. Not last year when Milwaukee lost to Boston, or Milwaukee beat Boston in 5, but the year before that when they went to 7 games. Who was Giannis' biggest problem? I want to ask you that. On Boston. He's on Philadelphia right now.
Al Horford.
There you go, okay? There ain't nobody like Al Horford in the league. Like, there aren't a lot of bigs that can keep up with Giannis.
Yeah, but you could follow that system. You could create players into that.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
But I think a player like Siakam wants to get some more strength.
Yeah, he needs a lot of strength.
He can shut his ass down. I'm just saying, if I'm the Bucks, I'm looking at Giannis, I'm like, listen, we know you MVP. We know you're great. But we need to get somebody else to help you get there. As simple as that. Okay. Other than that, Christmas Day, it was something. It was disappointing.
It was very disappointing.
They got slapped. They made a run at the end of the game.
No, it wasn't even. I'm sorry. It was the game was over since like the start. like Philadelphia just came out with that energy you need on a Christmas Day game.
Right. And to me, listen, like they got to figure out a way to get this going because trade deadline's coming up.
Yeah.
You can't trade all your assets.
They definitely need to make it.
Milwaukee's got to change something because hey, I know it's only quarter season, but playoffs are coming soon. Be ready.
So Johnny, whenever you're ready, let's start rapid fire.
Boop, boop, boop. Let's get it.
All right, guys. What's your top 3 most memorable moments of the decade?
Do you want to do 1 and 1, or do you want to just do?
I'll just go one by one quickly.
Okay. You can start.
Or like you can go your top 3 one time. Actually,
I don't. I mean, okay. I have like 2, obviously.
we have one the same.
Okay, so
Why?
okay, well, you talking about the championship?
The whole bloody thing.
Okay, well, I was gonna talk about the shot. I want to talk about the shot. Game 7, obviously, the most iconic buzzer beater in maybe the history of sports. Absolutely, definitely the most clutch shot of this decade, hands down.
Oh, yeah.
Never been done before. A Game 7 buzzer beater.
Oh, yeah.
Took the 4 luckiest bounces for that ball to go in, but it did.
Beautiful. That was like watching like I think everyone.
Honestly, that was like so. Yeah, everyone just stopped. Like for that like millisecond where that ball was just bounce. Everyone was just stopped, and once that ball went through, madness in Toronto.
Everyone just like, oh my god. And it went in and it just changed our lives, and that was great. Another great moment that I know I love very much was that 3-1 comeback, baby! I rubbed it in every Warriors fan's face. That was so great. I will never forget that moment when LeBron did it and helped his team come back. I will.
With the help of Kyrie Irving, not so much.
Yeah, with the help of the Funky Bunch. I get it.
No, say that to Kyrie.
No, he's not.
The man had 40 points in Game 6. Don't take that away from the man, bro.
Okay, I can't take that away from Kyrie. Kyrie's definitely a beast, and he has another beast with him.
Yeah. No, hey, like I'm saying, Kyrie, we've seen Kyrie's clearly the second.
Oh yeah, no, Kyrie's a great player when when he's in Brooklyn and they're losing games and it's just.
Well, how much has he played? How much has he played this year?
They're losing record with him.
They're losing right now. Eh? Like they don't get it twisted. They've lost like how many in a row now? Or
I wouldn't be shocked if Kyrie has something to do with it.
Well, we'll see. For me, I'm gonna go with Kobe's last game. Obviously, 60 points. Doesn't get more iconic than that. The man's a living legend.
Yeah.
The best scorer until somebody beats his record, to be honest. Like he's third on that list. There's a lot of guys that could beat him, but until that, he's definitely the best scorer we've seen. To do it on the last game that you ever play the NBA, that's for me is where like I said, that's mama mentality right there. This man said, I'm gonna hoop one more time, I'm gonna drop buckets. And I think the funniest part is, which I didn't hear until like a year ago, Shaq interviewed him the game before. And the man said, I dare you to get 50. And Kobe said, all right, I got you. Here's a 60 piece.
Kobe always does what Kobe does. Kobe's a boss, man. I'll give him that.
And do you have a third one?
I mean, the only other biggest memory I have was, and I didn't like it at all, was when LeBron went to Miami. I think that was the day, I don't know, Johnny, if you remember, I was probably like, yo, fuck LeBron, I hate him, my life is over. I was like, this is stupid, the NBA is ruined. Clearly, it's still ruined. The refs haven't got shit right. Teams are cheating still. The Pelicans have been cheating, getting first overall picks in this decade.
Thing, bro.
How many times did they get the first pick in the All-Star game?
So Pelicans had 2 first overall picks today. I think Davis and Zion, and then 3 All-Star.
New Orleans, you keep on winning, man. You got the NBA on your side. You keep doing it. I'm not gonna say it.
For me, it's a bittersweet moment, to be honest, and it's probably DeMar DeRozan's trade from the Raptors. For a long time, I was a big DeMar fan, obviously because he played for Toronto. I had to support him. But as the years went on, especially the last 2 years against Cleveland, it seemed like he was not going to be that guy to take us over the next step.
Yeah.
Okay? We saw it in game 1 of the second time that they got swept. This man was at the rim and he pump faked out a layup. Stop this. You gotta go up, bro. You got so it's a sad moment because he got traded, but obviously we got a great a player in return and a championship as well. So that's why I said a bittersweet.
Ain't no regrets.
Right?
Ain't no regrets.
Bittersweet.
Right?
That's it, right?
All I know is when I heard he was traded, I ain't gonna lie, I was like one of the other fans in the world. Yo, what's wrong with this organization? Besides, I was like, I DM'd DeRozan and said, yo, my bad, boss. We didn't mean to do that to you. I felt so bad. I was like, yo, send Lowry's away too. And then, Lowry just said, I say less.
What happened with the championship with you guys?
This championship is dropping 30 points like it's none. So I'm sorry to Larry and the Raptors. I apologize. Allah.
Alright, the second question.
Who has been the best players of the decade?
Do you want a number or just
LeBron James.
I'm not even gonna say it. What am I supposed to say?
LeBron James.
LeBron James. So I would say that Steph Curry and Steph Curry changed the way we look at the game of basketball. So I will say he's a close number 2 for most influential and most impactful player. But obviously, it's not even a question.
And for some people out there taking a shout out to you, Fata. Yes, my king. Damn straight, he is the king of the decade, you asshole. Fata. Next question.
Final one. Who are the rising stars for the next decade?
Well, I think I have 2. I don't know.
I got about like 5.
Well, I mean, I have 2 right away, but obviously I would say Giannis is one of those guys, and then Luka is the other one. We've seen both of them at a young age dominate the way they play. Luka, obviously, at 20 years old, it's unbelievable what he's doing. But Giannis, he's going to be hitting his prime in like the next year or so. So for sure, the 2020s, I would think that he and Luka Doncic should be the 2 guys that we'll see in the finals the most.
I beg to differ. I think there's a couple guys that people are sleeping on that could be easily big stars. I think Carl Levert from Brooklyn, he's a guy that people sleep on. I think if he gets the right situation there in Brooklyn, could be a big rising star. I love his game. Trey, come on, Ice Trey, Ice Bait. Yo, what you mean? That man's wet. He's dropping like 30, 40 points per game. And then there's Doncic, of course. One guy I didn't miss was Anthony Davis. Nope.
Oh, you don't think he's going to dominate the 2020s?
He's going to have like 4 more years, and then it's going to be the Luka show. He's not having that.
Bro, he still has a lot of basketball in him. Just know that he's just 1 year older than Giannis. So he's still got a lot playing.
Who's 1 year older than
Anthony Davis.
Yeah, that's good for him.
I'm just letting you know that. So that's hitting his prime next year.
Yeah, and Dwayne Wade was older too, and he had a lot of injuries, and look at him.
Well, yeah, Anthony Davis' shoulder is like fragile as glass.
And whose shoulders is glass too? You're getting on here. Anthony Davis is not going to be going to dominate.
What about, is there another player you have?
Sorry, no, I did have that player. I like DeAndre Hunter too. I think if he finds the right situation, he could be a really good rising star.
Beast.
I had him and then he left. Oh wait, Siakam, because he's probably going to be an MVP one day, easily. That guy's work ethic and his development is greater. It's like
it's
next
to greatest. Yeah,
it's like there's nobody.
I've never seen anyone do that.
So I think he's a guy that he's probably the new Giannis with a jump shot. To be honest,
better jump shot than Giannis.
Yo, Giannis, let's be honest. You ain't up there, my dog. No,
he will be when he gets that jump shot.
Yeah, no, if he gets a jump shot, he'll be dominant. But I don't know. I think with his game, he might die out.
Welcome to another segment of Derwinner and Loser. This week, what we're gonna do, as we count down the end of the decade, we're gonna look back at a more memorable decade, obviously. The first thing we'll do for our losers is we'll talk about how the NBA's refs from the 2010 to 2019 haven't changed. They don't see shit, okay? They look at things, but they don't see it. They'll say, oh, that's what happened. Instant replay, not even close. I really, really want the NBA to get more cameras, to do something, okay? Because I don't understand what's a call anymore and what's not. For the longest time, we were told, if you jump straight up, it's not a foul. But this season, sometimes it's a foul. What kind of nonsense is that? I don't understand where the NBA is going with their reffing system. I don't understand where they're going with their instant replay. And this coach's challenge crap ain't working. Don't let the coach lose their timeout. And in the last 2 minutes of the game, everything needs to be reviewed regardless, alright? So that's my loser for this decade. That this decade, NBA refs still suck. My winner, on the other hand, I'm gonna go back just a couple weeks ago. Something happened. Something huge that hasn't happened since 2009, right? The last time a team came down from 30 points or more. And who did it? The Toronto Raptors. Damn right they did. I watched the game live, obviously, and I'd never seen anything like that. Fourth quarter came, clamps were put on, a full court press was put on, and that was the end of that. Lowry became a superstar. The man was just hitting 3 after 3. I don't even know how. Chris Boucher came out of that shell that everyone has been talking about. He looked so much more comfortable playing in the NBA after that game. We'll see. No team's ever going to do it in this decade, but for the next one, we'll see. That's your winner and loser.
So that's pretty much all that we had to talk about today. Just a little one thing we want to talk about with some, youth that are hooping out here. One kid want to get a shout out. He's putting in a lot of great work. His name is Ahmed Dual. Is that how you say his name?
I believe so.
Ahmed, don't get mad at me, dude. Don't get mad, but we call him Mello in our gym. He's a great kid, nice young gentleman. And what I like about him and these young kids that are coming up in Canada now is that they all have good respect for the game. They love this game.
Absolutely.
Like a lot more than I ever remember.
Could imagine it. Yeah, no, definitely. I just want to take it back to a little bit of the Raptors and why the youth now we're watching the way they're coming up. So when Vince Carter played, right, obviously he had a big influence on a lot of players that we don't know that maybe made it to D1, D2, whatever the case was, and then never got drafted, never found a home in the NBA. Right now we're looking at 20-something Canadians in the league. That's all pretty much Vince, In the next 10 years though, that's what I'm talking about. The Raptors championship is going to affect the entire country of Canada. So we should have a lot more Canadians playing basketball. And currently, high school basketball just jumped to the roof. And that's how we're seeing even more players than we've ever seen.
Kids are playing prep basketball here now. Kids are competing at the top tournaments in the States that from here.
Playing top players in the
Shout out to Orangeville Prep, man.
Absolutely.
They went out to the States and started eating teams. Henry Carr, I seen. I'm like, yo, it's been great. I love it. These kids, they need a bigger platform for this world.
Absolutely.
And I hope that we can be that platform for them because I know all these kids want to reach to the highest levels. And, any way we can help them, that'd be great. But, yes, we'll be posting a post of the kid Mello so you get an idea of who he is.
Who we're talking about.
Yes, we kind of coach him, so it'll be kind of cool for y'all to see the type of players we deal with. But let us know what you think. Comment on it. Give us a vote. Give us from a scale from 1 to 10 how you think of his dunks. And then, we'll give him a nice little, package and let them know how everyone felt about him. But
other than that, you already know what you gotta do. Like and subscribe. Don't forget that.
Please don't. Or else I'm gonna find you. If I find you, we're gonna have problems, okay?
Other than that, take care, guys.
Adios.